When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. That you might work.
Hi, welcome to another episode of the Michel Matters Podcast. I'm Jocks Michel.
And I'm Jackie Michelle.
Alright, welcome back.
Hey.
Just a little feedback on the last episode. We talked about weddings in Wakanda. That was the title.
Yes.
I got a lot of people who gave some pretty solid feedback.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I didn't hear back from many people, but
I guess different areas. I heard a lot of people like saying, they liked our breakdown of the movie.
Okay. No, we did have a conversation.
Yeah, we had a long conversation. Yeah. Like the day after.
Yeah.
Actually, it was with our last business spotlight, Johnny Jean Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he broke it. We had a long conversation breaking down that movie and just a whole lot of other topics. Definitely going to get Johnny on the podcast. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
If he wants to.
Nah, come on, man.
Yeah, Taryn texted me a quote of what you said on the podcast.
See, that's the thing. After we record, I don't listen, so I don't know what I say sometimes.
But she said that Leo said the exact same thing. Her husband. She said, if my wife can stay awake during the entire Marvel movie, that movie's lit.
It's for real.
Basically.
Because you fall asleep through anything, so...
Yeah. But yeah, we wanted to shout some of you guys out because you comment. And we always comment back, but we never shout you guys out. Even from the first episode, Ilea is a friend that I met through Elisa in New York. And she said, I love that you guys are doing this. It's something that I have been thinking about doing one day myself. So this is definitely motivating. So thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And you should definitely start. I always listen to podcasts. I always need something in my ears while I'm working. So
I think eventually, we just started, but we'll talk about what goes into doing a podcast. And I think probably the best advice we got from the beginning was from our brother. He was just like, stop overthinking it and just do it. Yeah. Our brother?
Yes.
That's another episode, I think, altogether. But yeah, I think that's going to be key is just don't stop overthinking and just start the podcast. So
yeah. And then Hope said, I feel like I'm sitting right next to you guys and getting to catch up with you and hearing your story. And she's a friend from we were in high school. She was in middle school or something. Yeah.
I knew Pope when she was in 6th grade. She's married now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah.
But yeah, thanks for giving us feedback and stuff. We like hearing from people because it's kind of weird seeing the numbers and then not knowing who's listening.
I kind of figured it out. Not figured out who's listening, but I think we got some loyal listeners.
Yeah.
Every podcast is talking about the loyal listeners. I think we got a couple now.
Okay.
So that's what's up.
Well, shout out to you guys.
The last couple weeks, I feel like, and I have to say last couple weeks because we do this every 2 weeks. And I've gotten some comments about that. People are saying they want us to do weekly. Yeah, y'all don't know what it takes to find time for the both of us to do this. So enjoy this every 2 weeks. That's how you're going to get.
For now, we'll see what happens.
But it's been pretty chill on the weekends.
Yes.
Because our work weeks are usually busy. We had a super crazy weekend 2 weekends ago when because we recorded in between 2 weddings.
Yeah.
So we never even gave feedback on the second wedding. It was crazy. It was good, man. I got to catch up with some old college friends.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot has changed, but a lot has stayed the same. So it was pretty cool going back to Tampa and meeting up with some of my people. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it has been pretty chill. You bought a new video game? Right? Or it's not new?
It's new to me, but not new to everybody else. I got 2K, and I know for all the video game people, they're like, you just got 2K? Yeah, man. When you married, you got a family and a crock pot,
really?
You don't got time to be just sitting down playing video games all day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I don't play it, but I listen while you play. And this 2K is kind of whack to me.
It's not whack. I think
the storyline.
Yeah, because I'm doing my player, and they always have a different story. To me, the best one so far is the one they had Spike Lee. Yeah, he directed one of the storylines. This year, it's just, I think it's the voiceover is so trash. Like my player is like, a big point guard, and he like sounds like he's 5'3", and he's just, I don't know, it just doesn't fit. So I think that's part of it. It just doesn't match.
No shade to anybody.
I mean, they're not going to sponsor us anyway. But
you're right.
But no, it's the same game. It's just new people, new situations. So, but yeah, that's why you don't like it. It's because the storyline is kind of trash.
Yeah.
But the game is regular.
I mean, it's the same game every year. So. Basketball doesn't change.
Whatever. You wouldn't understand. That's why you buy new Sims.
I mean, maybe
the dumbest game I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Which I'm probably gonna play once we get off of here. But
and I'm probably gonna play 2K after edit.
Sims has new clothes, new places you can go to, new neighborhoods, new houses, and new furniture.
Fellas, if you want some free time from your old lady, buy her The Sims.
If she likes it.
If she likes it, but she probably will. And it is the most mindless but time-consuming game. It gives you at least a solid 2-hour break if you need it. That's 2 games in 2K. So I suggest buying Sims as a gift for your significant other next time you get the chance.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been playing games. We do like our morning walks every Saturday.
Yeah.
I remember I read a book called the Happy Wives Club. I know it's a corny title, but the book is actually pretty good. And it's basically this married woman that was trying to like discover what's the key to a successful marriage and stuff. And she traveled to like different countries and everything. And she realized that like every couple had kind of like their routine thing that they do together. So some couples, they drink tea in the morning together and talk. And even before I read the book, I realized like we walk every Saturday morning.
I don't think that was before the book.
That was. And then I was like, oh, this could be our thing. And like we just walk around the neighborhood.
Because I remember when you first read it and you kind of, I forgot where we were going. I remember the conversation exact and you were telling me about it and I was just like, oh. But I can't lie. It's turned into, I think, one of my, I won't say highlight, but it's but no, it's a solid part of the weekend.
Yeah.
And something I kind of look forward to now.
Yeah, it's cool. So we almost died in a park.
We didn't almost die. Davie. Okay, do not overstate this. So this is, especially if you listen to the first podcast, I talked about like I'm not good at planning stuff. Like I don't plan dates because I'm just not good at it. I'm trash, basically. I'm trash at things like I am. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have my strong suits, and you're a planner. Like you're good at finding new places for us to go and stuff like that. So this week, like I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna find already because we try to walk new places. Mm-hmm. We've already explored our neighborhood, so we just moved out to different areas. So when I was at work the other day, I found this park in Davie. It's called Treetop Park. And I was like, you know what? I looked up the reviews and it had some really good reviews. I didn't even know people left reviews on parks, but it had some really good reviews. And I was like, all right, I'm going to tell Jackie, let's go walk at Treetop Park. They have this, it's called an observation tower. And it's like, I didn't know too much about it. I was like, it just sounds cool. So I'm like, all right, let's go to Treetop Park. They got an observation tower. That's all I know when we go there. So we go and we're walking.
We basically walk like deep into the end of the park.
We're in the woods. All right. Like,
well, at first it wasn't a woodsy area.
Yeah, there was like
we saw horses, which
yeah.
You hate horses. So I was like, why are we here?
Hate horses. I hate being around horses. I don't have a problem with horses. You want Peter to come after me. Like,
okay.
I have a problem being around horses.
So you like pictures of horses?
Yeah, whatever. Like, if you think about how big a horse is and how strong it is It's scary to me.
Okay, literally the owner of the horse was like a 3-year-old girl. And she was like petting the horse's face.
Okay.
And he was like, okay,
it was her
we
pet.
need to go.
That's her pet. That's like when you go to somebody's house and they're like, oh, my dog don't bite. Yeah, your dog don't bite you. Because he's your dog. This is her horse. Of course you're not going to mess with her. I don't mess with animals like that, first of all.
So anyway, we see the horse and we take a detour now into like some weird bushy area. And he's like, no, I think it's the way back is this way. I'm like, are you sure?
No, see.
Because I'm pretty sure it's this way.
That's why you always gotta hear both sides of the story. That's not what happened.
Yeah, my correct side.
As soon as we leave the car, because we passed the sign, I was like, oh, observation tower is this way.
Mm-hmm. And he went the whole opposite way.
That's a lie. Jackie keeps walking.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to lead us back to that part of the park. But I'm not the best with directions. So we start walking. Mm-hmm. And then we passed the horses and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we got off the path. I don't know why we got off the path.
I saw the road.
Yeah,
cars were driving on the road.
Jackie was like, oh no, let's cut through here.
No. You said that.
Maybe. I don't know.
You did.
Maybe I did.
And then I was like, you're sure? And he was like, yeah. So we did. And all of a sudden, we're walking. We see like crocodile signs and like,
no, let's
what
turn
is
around.
happening?
Don't turn around. Don't play like this.
So we're turning around. I'm like, okay, it's this way.
Through another path.
Yes, but I could see the road.
Off the path.
I could see the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then every 5 seconds, you heard that? You heard that? I'm just like, oh my God.
In most normal situations, I consider myself to be a pretty brave person. Like I'm not scary like that. Mm-hmm. Like I grew up in a solid, like, decent neighborhood in Miami. Like it's not much I'm afraid of in a regular life.
Yeah, as far
as
in the like
woods, nah. I don't know why. I've seen some crazy things, but
like you're not scared of like going to gas stations at night and like running into the wrong kind of person at a corner store.
Exactly.
But when it comes to like iguanas,
because
like
I don't know them. I know people.
On the
floor. I don't know. I'm walking. All I hear is like stuff ruffling in the. It could have been a snake. It could have been a lion. I don't know what it was.
Like it could have been gunshots outside your window, and you're like, oh, it's gunshots. Look. And now it's like, you heard that?
Bro. You hear all those stories about, oh, somebody died. Nah, I'm not going to die at a park in Davie. Not going to be me. I'm going to stay on the path and I'm going to just do, what the people who run the park told you to do. They said stay on this path.
Yeah,
but
you took us here.
Anyway.
So then we go to the observation.
I finally found the observation tower.
You found it.
Come on, man. Let me be me. I found the observation tower. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if you can imagine. It's like a path to a treehouse. It's like a stairway going up to a treehouse.
The observation tower is a treehouse.
Pretty much. And
it's cool.
Yeah, once you get up there, it's really nice.
Yeah.
But
I'm up there, and all of a sudden, I'm like, is this thing shaking? So then I shake it myself, because, that's what people do.
That's what people do.
This
is where me and my wife differ. So we're going up the stairs to the treehouse. I keep calling it treehouse. It's an observation tower.
Treehouse.
It's an observation tower.
We could have built
and you can see like all around the park, but it's covered by trees, so you can't see the whole park.
It's a treehouse.
You're getting me off topic. So we're going up the stairs, and I just hear Jackie like, "Is it shaking?" Okay. We're not like 5 feet off the ground, not 10. We up there, and you talking about is this shaking?
It was shaking though.
I panicked, right? I start hyperventilating because I don't play with heights. I like my feet on the ground, first of all.
Yeah, he doesn't do roller coasters.
I don't do roller coasters.
Like, none of that.
You push me on the swing too hard and my stomach hurt. Like, I don't play like that. The fact that I even decided to go up these days, just, I got to do this because we out here. We already here. Let's do it.
But then you're okay on planes.
Because that's not the same. I mean, you sitting down. All you gotta do is like close your eyes. You can pretend like you're in a car. It's the same thing, huh?
Your eyes are never closed.
Look, don't question my logic.
It's really weird.
But anyway, and and then she proceeds to shake the structure. Now it's not that it's not sturdy, but it definitely moves. Like you could.
Because even this one lady took her dog up there, and like the dog was shaking it.
And she said her dog don't bite. It was one of the biggest it's a bully mix. I don't know exactly what. It's not pure bulldog, but it was some form of bully mix. And it was huge. because I just hear heavy breathing.
I know I'm bigger than the dog. So, of course, I was shaking it.
No, but that dog was like huge because it wasn't just walking up the stairs. It was pulling its owner up the stairs.
That's true.
And I just hear heavy breathing. And I'm like, yo, what's that noise? I look and I just see a big head, like it had an OJ sized head, and it was just coming up the stairs. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. And the lady's like, oh no, he's nice. All right. Like I don't listen to people who say their animals are nice. That's your animal. It's nice to you. So yeah, I don't play like that. But whatever. But it was nice.
It was good. And then we went to South Point Park the weekend after. Well, yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah, so we walked the boardwalk and stuff like that.
I've never I lived in Miami my whole life. I mean, I left for a couple years for college, but it's just parts of I don't know. Maybe it was a proximity thing. Like it's kind of on the other side of Miami.
Yeah.
But like, I did not know this place existed. I recommend it. I think it's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's a nice little place to get a little getaway. It's like right by the beach.
It's by Nikki Beach. Maybe you don't know, but I'm sure
regular people know.
South Point Park. Yeah, it's like right behind me.
I lived in Miami like my whole life. I never used to go to Miami Beach and all that stuff, so I have no idea what these things are. But it was dope. I really liked it. Yeah, that was fun. And before we did our walk on South Point, we went to a pet adoption.
Oh yeah, a dog adoption.
Dog adoption, kind of.
Yeah, we were late. Because we've been catching up on some good shows this weekend.
Okay, yes.
So we just could not stop watching.
If you haven't watched 7 Seconds, I recommend it.
7 Seconds.
Go watch 7 Seconds in Atlanta.
Atlanta just started back again.
But 7 Seconds is on Netflix. It's a story about a boy who was hit by a police officer and just the whole story of the case and how it ends up.
Yeah, and who is behind the case.
Yeah.
And it's just
layers to it. But Netflix did a great job, so I recommend it. I tell anybody go watch it.
But yeah, so we might adopt a dog. We'll see.
Me and Jackie have two varying opinions on dogs and how you should raise a dog. Yeah, because me personally, I mean, I didn't have pets growing up.
And that could be why.
It could be. But I know if I did have a pet, my mom would have let it in the house. Mm-hmm. And I understand. I feel like everybody I know that has a dog, when I go to their house, the house smells like dog. And I hate that. I feel like animals should be outside.
I feel like I'm so OCD about cleaning that wouldn't happen.
Now, that's true, and I believe that. But I feel like it's just... It makes cleaning more difficult because, I don't shed. You don't shed. The dog's going to shed.
We shed hair.
Okay. All right. Okay. For me personally, we shed.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, in the bathroom because I hate hair. If you come to my house, do not start playing with your hair anywhere else. I hate hair anywhere besides the bathroom. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put you out there. What? The bundles. When they're out.
I don't have no bundles.
When you get your hair sometimes and you just leave it, whatever. Uh-huh. But before it's braided, it's out.
Yes.
And it's
not a bundle.
Because she washes it and then she leaves it out to dry.
Yeah.
But you leave it in some of the worst places to me. I won't expose you, but you leave it in the worst places. But yeah.
But it'll only be there for a day while we're at work.
It's too long. That's a day too long. It's a day too long. The thought of it.
We'll talk about hair in another episode.
Whatever. It aggravates me.
Anyway.
And then it's the size of a dog.
Yes. We differ in that. But I feel like we just reached a
happy medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll let you know if we get one.
Yeah.
Jackie probably go to another adoption because we definitely got there as they were packing up.
Yeah.
But we'll try to go to another one. I mean, I think that's next. Getting the dog would be dope.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can come up with a name.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah. And we did get a dog before, but that's a story for another day.
Mm-mm.
I'll wait to tell that story. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's most of the recap.
Mm-hmm. It's been true.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the hot topic.
Yes.
So hot in here. So hot in
Yeah, so for this week's hot topic, we're going to talk about Rachel Dolezal. This week, it was kind of big on social media and everything. Rachel Dolezal is going to get a documentary on Netflix.
So she took Monique's check.
Oh, that was a quick one. I think, for the people who don't know who Rachel Dolezal is, quick background. In 2015, she was ousted by a news station for pretending to be black. No, it's
something like that.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. She was outside of, I guess, her job, and she's worked at like the NAACP, and she went to Howard.
Braiding hair.
Yeah, she was like doing hair at Howard too, but she was coming out, and somebody asked her, like, "Is this your father?" I showed her a picture, and then she was like, "Yes," and they're like, "Are you black?" It was just such a weird line of questioning, but It was like, and then she just kind of froze, and she was like, "I don't understand your question."
Right.
And then from there, I was like, "Oh, I see what happened here." Like, so this lady's been posing as a black, and like, that's not one of those questions that you should stumble on. And it's like,
I mean, I can understand if you are like multiracial,
but even then, I feel like it's not like a stumble.
Identify just black, then you're just like, okay, well, actually, let me break it down for you since you want to know so bad.
Yeah,
but that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not what she did. She froze. Like, she was like, "Huh?" Like,
yeah,
you're like when you're a little kid. Like, if you could hunt, you could hear. You know what I said? I said, "Are you black?" And then she just like froze, and she was like, "I don't understand." No, you understand exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, she got ousted as being white because they kind of asked her after, like, are you black or are you white? And she kind of just took off. And I was just like, it was such a crazy story when it first came out. And then she went on like a press tour.
I really thought we were done.
I mean, even then,
like the media was done.
Yeah.
But this whole time, I'm guessing she was getting a deal.
Yeah, she's been working.
Yeah.
Dolezal been working. So
selling T-shirts and stuff.
Man,
it was something.
She's been doing a lot. And through this whole thing, she found time to record a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out on Netflix April 27th.
Are we watching this?
I'm going to watch it. I mean, that's the thing. Because a lot of people are like, there's been a lot of backlash. Like, oh, why are we giving her the time of day? And Rachel Dolezal shouldn't have a platform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it or not, people want to hear what she has to say because it's interesting. Like, I want to know what made a white woman want to be a black woman.
She's transracial.
That term, right? Okay, there's a lot to this. I'll save the transracial for a little bit, but it's just it's a compelling story. Like, maybe you don't agree with it. It's Netflix. You don't gotta watch it. Don't click on it. But I think
I don't even think she has a platform. They would just want to know the story and then move on. I mean, you probably won't hear from her for another 5 years.
You could call it a platform though, because she gets to spit her transracial rhetoric. I mean, because I'm pretty sure it's called the Rachel Divide, and I'm assuming it's the divide of what she feels versus what she is.
Mm-hmm. Because she says race is like a
social construct,
fluid thing,
and it's a slippery slope when we start doing stuff like this. But I mean, I'm here for good entertainment. I'm here for jokes, and I legitimately do want to hear what she has to say, because I just like hearing different opinions on things and what people think and like what goes on in people's heads. But like you were saying, the whole she's transracial. Yeah, she's transracial. Sorry, phone call came in. I think it's and just the whole. She made a comment that she doesn't feel as embraced as Bruce Caitlyn Jenner felt when he or she came out. Because I'm just lost of pronouns. I don't know what to call him, her anymore.
Yeah,
but it was. I mean, I think that's a real struggle for her. And it's not scary, but it's like, how are people okay with transgender, but not okay with transracial? Because to me, I mean, it's one and the same. Mm-hmm. You're trying to tell someone they don't feel what they feel. Like,
that's tough.
And because if gender can be considered a social construct, then why can't race?
Right.
So it's ridiculous talk. Both of them, honestly, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You could feel a certain way. That doesn't mean it is whatever you feel.
Right.
Like, so I just thought it was interesting. I'm interested to see how that plays out, because there's a lot of, I mean, I have some hot takes on a couple of other topics like that, but I feel like when we start letting things through the cracks, like, oh, well, gender is, what you think, you don't know if someone's a boy, ask them, are you a boy or girl? You can't just assume. Like, people kind of start, boys can wear, skirts and like just little things that they try to slip in every once in a while. Like, I'm telling you, man, it's a slippery slope, and I feel like we're playing with fire.
Yeah. We saw the trailer. Her son looks so done with her.
I mean, yeah. So hit the trailer, and the trailer doesn't really it doesn't kind of give you an exact idea of what the show's gonna be like.
Yeah. It's
just a small clip of an interview her son gave, and it's just he's done. Like he's through.
Stressed.
Yeah. Like. And I think it's part of it that's not really probably discussed enough, and I'm glad it's kind of shown, is you put stress on your kids with stuff like that. Like,
I kind of hope that they have like some type of therapist or something on the documentary to, like, I don't know, maybe it connects to something in her childhood or whatever. Guess. Like, she's only dated black men, right, or something.
From
like
what it seems, her son's husband is her son's dad is black. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was true or not, but apparently part of the reason they got a divorce was she said she was too black for him. So
too black for
her husband? Huh? No, she was too black for her black husband.
Did her husband actually think she was black? Like, did he see
That's
her?
That's a good question. I don't know. Well, he couldn't have, because there's a picture of her, him, and her parents. Like, it looks like their wedding day or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you had to have known. Because when they show pictures of her in her 20s, like, she's definitely, like, you can't fake it. Like, she's white. But then, I don't know when it happened.
And like, she said she didn't take, like, in previous interviews, that she didn't take melanin shots or anything like that. She's probably just sitting in a tanning bed or something.
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't understand.
It's the hair that really
Yeah, she goes over the top, man. She's over the top with it.
I can't.
It's just, and I forgot who I heard says, like, of all people, you chose to be a black woman. Mm-hmm. Probably to some people the lowest portion on the totem pole. Yeah. It's like, you're just like, I mean, why? The only reason is, like, that's how she really feels. Like, what advantage is there to being a black woman over a white woman?
Because she said
I know. But
she feels like she walks the shoes of a black woman.
And Tamar put her in her place real quick. That was on the real. It was on the real.
And I just don't understand how. Like, you grew up with your white parents.
And her adopted black brother.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she, like, wanted to connect with him.
I don't know. She said from when she was 5. She thought she was black starting at 5. And
they had already adopted the son.
I don't know. But it's just crazy. I mean, I'm mad that I didn't go back and see all this content when it first came out. But going back and doing research for this, she has some good content. So on her birth certificate, it's her white father, her white mother, and she says there's no way to know for sure that those are her real parents. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast, you know me and my wife took a DNA test a couple weeks ago. I don't think it's new technology, but you can find out who your parents are. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just crazy talk. I don't think it's for everybody, but I'm here for it.
I mean, we'll probably watch it. Like,
I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's not even
I'm only gonna watch it once.
April 27th. I'm definitely watching it.
On the day it comes out.
April 27th. I mean, how can you not? It's gonna be news that day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be news. I gotta watch it. If it comes out at midnight, I'm getting my popcorn. I'm watching at midnight.
I'm gonna be asleep and I'll catch it the next day. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I don't get it. You know.
I think she's gonna have some good content, some quotables, and she's just gonna confuse people more. And make people angry, and I'm here for it. I like good conversation. So
yeah.
All right.
Let us know if you're gonna watch it, and if you have any feedback on being transracial.
And what do you feel about race?
Yeah.
And how can race be a social construct? Maybe I'm missing the point, but
but a lot of people think that.
No, not race. People think gender, and I guess you can argue with me on that. But how are you going to argue me about race being a social construct?
Oh, no, yeah. I meant gender.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right. I think that's enough for the hot topic.
All right. So, today's Michel Matters is finances. We know like finances are like a big reason why a lot of couples get divorced.
And finances are one of the, to me, top 3 or 4 things people don't like to talk about.
Yeah. But we talk about it a lot.
I'm saying people in general. Like,
but I mean us.
Yeah. So I feel like people don't like you talking about their money, their bedroom, and their politics. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a taboo subject sometimes. But in marriage, I don't think you can avoid it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. And I feel like people have been asking a little bit to me, like how we do things, you know, if we have one account, if we have separate accounts, if we, etc. Like the whole everything. So we kind of like prolonged doing this because we wanted to make sure we had all of our information together.
Yeah.
We are not, you know, accountants. We're not.
Don't take none of our advice. Well, you can take our advice.
If you want to. But
yeah, you know, at the end of everything, it's like, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. But.
Yeah, we do what works for us.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you how you viewed money growing up.
Growing up?
Yeah, like what you saw people around you handling money like, or your parents and stuff.
Growing up, money was scarce. We weren't poor. I'm not trying to say we were poor, but money was scarce. Like, my parents didn't give me an allowance or like hand me money. Mm-hmm. Like, if I had like, when I was in like elementary school, if I had like $1 and my mom didn't know where I got it from, like, number one, she would take it. And then she'd be like, how'd you get this $1? Like, I didn't give it to you.
She'd take it and use it herself?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that went up to even now. Like, but like, she'll be like, I didn't give you that $1. Where'd you get it from? Like, and my mom has like a lot of weird reasons why she's like that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it makes sense. But money wasn't like handed to me as a child. So it made me appreciate it.
Right.
I've always had like a respect for money. And my parents my mom early on instilled like savings. Like, my mom was like a huge saver. She definitely wanted us to be like that too. But yeah, I didn't see money a lot. So I really like, if I had $1, I knew how to make it stretch.
Yeah. So your mom was mainly like the, what do they call it? Like the
manager
of the money? Yeah.
In the beginning, I guess. Like, when I ask her sometimes. In the beginning, yeah, like, she would pay the bills and all that stuff. But, like, as time went on and, like, technology and stuff advanced, like, my dad started to take over because my mom was not paying any bills online and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't trust that stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like my house was kind of, I don't want to say traditional, but, like, my dad worked, like, his money paid all the bills. Mm-hmm. And it was very, like, structured like that. Like, he paid the bills, she saved, and they paid off things together.
Right.
But through separate accounts.
Right. Okay.
But yeah. So they definitely handle money differently than we did, but I mean success can come from different
because they've done
ways.
pretty well.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, don't count my people money, but yeah,
I'm
they did all right. And so yeah, but me personally, I mean, I started working when I was like my first real job when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And just to show you like how serious my mom was, like I could not cash my own check. Like, because she would give me money from it, but I wasn't allowed to like control. It's not like I made money and the money was for me.
Yeah, because you were 15.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
I knew I had a bank account. I didn't know how much money was in it. I just knew I was putting money in every week when I got paid.
Yeah. And
I saw what little bit my mom let me see. So we had a joint bank account. It was me and her.
Okay.
And she controlled all my money. Like, I've been getting tax returns for a while.
In college?
No, when I was in college, that stopped.
But I'm saying, like, when did it stop? Once
I got to college, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up a little differently, I think. Well, my parents both came from pretty, like, humble beginnings. Like, almost not having anything. But when I was born, that was not really my reality. Like, you wouldn't have known that. Yeah. Unless you knew them, because I wasn't born into that time in their life. But how I saw them handle money, they always handled it together. My dad was an accountant, so he pretty much took care of all of that. Yeah. We're not gonna do this on the podcast. Because you're making faces over. It's because I don't count your parents' money, but it's there. Okay. Stop counting my people's money, right? Anyway. Yeah, he was an accountant, and so he handled the money in the house, and my mom pretty much worked when she felt like it. Like, she worked, I pretty much was home with her until I started school, and then I remember her working some office jobs here and there, but she didn't have to, so I always saw money as something that, like, just provided you options. Mm-hmm. But I was never that kid that asked for money all the time. Like, I just remember things being handled. Yeah. That's it. Like, if I want to go on a field trip, I don't remember missing a field trip unless I literally just couldn't go.
Like, that's one of the things I would say growing up in my household is, like, we didn't want for stuff. Like, we got everything that we needed. Yeah. The things we wanted, maybe not, but the things that we needed, we definitely had. And I think that was key for my parents. Like, they didn't just give in to everything that we wanted, because we didn't have it at the time. Yeah. Things definitely got better as we got older, but like I never forget, we went to the youth fair, and I asked my dad for money for the youth fair, and he gave me a whole $20. Right?
For your entrance, what is the entrance like?
So,
well, we had a discount.
Yeah, thank goodness I'm not like a big rides person, because $20 is the pop ticket. Right. Like, I wasn't gonna eat if all I did was get. Yep. So, like I said, I had to learn how to make that $20 stretch. Mm-hmm. And you know how the youth fair is. We get there at 3, and you're not leaving till like 9, 10 o'clock. 7 hours at the youth fair with $20. You need
something to drink. You need something to eat.
Strategy, man. Strategy. Yeah. You make sure you get the refillable cup. That's number one. That's the first thing you do when you go to the youth fair. And you only got $20, here's the game plan. Get you a refillable cup. And if you don't have a refillable cup, you got to have a homeboy that got a refillable cup. All right? That's my personal go-to. The first year I went...
if you really trying to make it stretch, just drink from the water fountain.
See? Okay.
I never did this.
My wife is a struggler. My wife thinks, no, I'm not going to struggle. I came to the youth fair. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have soda. I'm going to have
you
lemonade.
Can buy like a soda in a bottle and then refill that bottle with water. Like it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway.
I'm not trying to struggle. I'm trying to have fun.
All
so
right.
I tell my friend, yo, get the refillable cup. He don't know why I asked him to get the refillable cup. He just knows he needs to get the refillable cup.
So you're a finesser.
That's my dog. We're going to have the drink together. I mean...
You're just sharing germs.
Yeah. Oh, my wife has a big issue with this. Yeah. But whatever. So yeah, I mean, it's just little things like that, like learning how to make money stretch and learning like use what you have to use. You don't have to live like. At the time, I didn't know that. I didn't understand that. I was like, I want to have fun with my friends out here. You know, they buying T-shirts with their names on it. Yeah. They're getting fancy, like, and I'm over here struggling with my $10 left at 5:00 because I wanted an elephant ear, and it was too early, and I didn't think about this, and I could only play 2 games for the rest of the night. But I mean,
you played those games? Yeah, you did. You used to try to win me stuff.
You know, and I mean, it's just little things like that, and it just makes you appreciate money a different way. Yeah. Especially when you have it. Yeah. Not that we have it, but
have more of it. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, and I still don't feel like. I mean, my parents are not the richest people in the world, but also because it was a comfortable financial situation, I don't feel like I was entitled, like an entitled kid that wanted everything. If anything, I learned a lot from my parents. Yeah. Even today, we ask.
So I've known Jackie, I mean, like, you know, from high school. So I didn't know exactly what, like, circumstances Jackie came from. Cause we in high school, we don't talk about, like, how much money your parents make.
And I probably wouldn't even know.
I know, but I just remember when we first started dating. And then we used to go to Barry, like, we used to do like this,
like advanced class or something?
What? No, we took a computer class. Yeah. But it was like dual enrollment. That's what it was. Yeah. We dual enrolled at Barry at the time. And she, I think we had class canceled or something like that one day. And she kind of lived close to Barry. So she was like, oh.
All the business out there.
I mean, we're grown now. So she was like, oh, let's go to my house. And I mean, I didn't know anything. I didn't think about it. And I was like, Jackie had a car already. I didn't, none of this processed in my mind. Yeah, she had like her own car and all this stuff. And it was a nice car at the time. And then it's like we're pulling up to the house and I was like, nah, this ain't it. And I was like, I felt like the Fresh Prince when he first pulled up to Uncle Phil's house.
Okay.
Like,
now you over-exaggerate.
But I'm saying at the time, but like, I appreciate it because like, I never knew, and you never acted like you came from any type of money like that. So I thought I appreciated it. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I could have been that humble, you know?
I didn't have money.
I get what you're saying, but like, it didn't register to me. But like, I mean, y'all kind of had it. Not had it, but from what I was used to, yeah, y'all had it.
It was interesting to me because a lot of kids, even like when we were in school, they would be like, oh, yeah, you know, my parents can't pay for this or I don't have money for this. And I would just be so confused because I know we went to a private school. So I know y'all pay tuition. Like, how do you afford to like even as a younger mind, I would always think like, okay, but how do you afford this? But you can't afford this.
I mean, I get it. I completely get it because
it's just like
everybody's situation is different.
Yeah,
I went to the same private school, but my parents never paid full tuition. Like, you know, thank goodness we had different circumstances, and you know, we used to do other things to help pay for the tuition. So some people, they really just want that for their kids, and they'll pay for tuition
and then
sacrifice in somewhere else because they feel like that's important. I can respect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a money management thing and give and take. So speaking of money management,
yes.
I know a lot of people ask, and I know our situation, but how do you feel about separate accounts versus one account?
I think every couple needs to do what works for them. That's what I always say, you know, the politically correct answer. But I also feel like if we can share a bed, why can't we share an account? Like, that's just me. Okay. I never thought about it that way. Okay. I mean, some people probably wouldn't because, like, just of how the culture is today. Like, some people don't share beds with their husband. So I'm just saying.
As far as the two accounts, yeah. Before we got married, and just a side note, before we got married, part of our counseling was we had to talk finance, and our finance conversation was a little shorter because we had taken a church offered class, Financial Peace University. Yeah. Great system. I would recommend it. We'll probably get into that a little bit later. Yeah. But in one of our counseling sessions, we spoke about it. And I had like questions like, I wasn't sure if I wanted 2 accounts or one. And I was like, what if I want to buy her something nice or surprise her? Because these are things you don't think about like before you do it. Is like, people always talk about, oh, you know, my husband bought me this or my wife bought me that. And is it really the same when you have one account? Because it's like, I mean, you don't know whose money bought what. And I was like, I guess I bought me this kind of.
But then that's just like a change of mind.
It is. No, it is. And that's something I wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, coming into getting married, like, I didn't think about it like that. I thought, you know, I'm going to treat my wife. I'm going to buy my wife flowers with my money. And, you know, I'm going to do this and that. It's like, what if I want to buy her? Because, like, you guys do not understand. There's pros and cons to everything. But, like, you can't sneak around with a joint account. So
sneak around how? You gotta
okay, when I mean more... yeah, sneak around sounds sus.
Yeah.
That's sus. All right, let me fix that. So you can't surprise your wife when you have a joint account. So like,
if you use the card.
Yes, if you use the card. But like, I can't surprise you with like a trip with cash. It's not happening, boss. Like,
first of all, that wouldn't work anyway. Just based on how we live.
Fine.
You're not going to surprise me with a trip at this
okay,
point.
I can't surprise you with like a nice piece of jewelry or a bag, you know, on a joint account. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also, that just wouldn't work with me because I'm particular.
Oh
like,
gosh.
I want a certain bag.
Okay.
Like,
you understand what I'm saying. I know my wife is being difficult right now.
I get you though. But we've made it work. And so we use one account. So before we got married, we did have a joint savings account.
Yeah, we had a savings account.
And that was just like we were putting things in there for, you know, down payment for the house, wedding costs, all of that. And then finally, once we got married, we just merged. And
it was...
closed the single accounts and got one account.
Yeah, that's when I knew it was over, guys.
And we still had our own credit cards and stuff, but I
don't think I had a credit card yet.
Oh, no.
I didn't.
You didn't?
When we bought a house, I did not have a credit card.
Oh, yeah. You got one after.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had our own credit cards, but then we had one account. And basically, within how we budget, we take cash out, which is for our personal spending. So if you want to get me something, you can out of that. But I
cannot buy you anything out of that.
No, you can't. You're right.
Small amount of money that you get per week.
Yeah, it's not much, but I mean, it's enough to like go out with friends if you want to, or go to a movie, get a haircut, all that stuff. So anyway,
I think we should start with how we begin to budget and how we begin to manage our money. So
how we began, like how
we got here? No, how we begin to manage our money. As far as when a good piece of advice I got from someone, and I don't even think they were talking to me, they were talking around me, and I heard it.
So you're being nosy?
Huh?
What?
I was not being nosy. Whatever. I was ear hustling. Anyway, so I heard him speak, and he was saying the way he budgets is first he gives to God, then he gives to himself. So what he means is he starts off with his tithe that's given to God, and secondly he gives to himself, which is he saves some money. Yeah. And a lot of people save the leftover. Yeah. They don't plan an amount to save, and I think that's hustling backwards.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that because maybe they make a good amount of money, like their salary might be good,
I guess.
But it's not about what you make.
Yeah. So, I mean, personally, we have goals. Yeah. We'll get to those later, but it's easier to get to goals on your terms versus what you think you have. So, like, what I mean is, if you're trying to save $100 and you're saving, and you have, you make a certain amount of money every week, and I'll save whatever I have left at the end. You can kind of overspend in other areas before you notice that it's going to be tougher. As far as like, say you make a certain amount of money, it's like, I know I want to save $20 a month, to get to that $100 mark. It's more, you can easier maneuver your budget from that standpoint and meet your goals than the other way around, because you might end up in like you have $5 left and it's going to take you 20 months to get to that $100 mark or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's just having a goal saving wise helps, and budgeting, thinking about saving as in the beginning rather than like settling and like, oh, I guess I can only save this amount every month.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So we give to tithing first.
Yeah.
And we also give to other organizations and stuff. But
it's just a basic concept. It's to give to God, then give to yourself.
Then to yourself.
And then my wife comes in and we have a budget meeting.
Yes, we do. So I feel like people might be like, what? Like, why is your wife manhandling this?
When we first started dating, I easily say I was the saver of the two of us. Mm-hmm. I was the money person. I was the one who said we should get the...
But you were a saver because you were working.
You were working too.
I wasn't working in high school or anything.
No, I'm not talking about high school. I'm saying as far as like once post-college. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
And like I was the one who was like, we should have an account to save for the wedding. And,
yeah.
Like, I definitely felt like I was the money person. Mm-hmm. Then we got married. And I don't know what happened. A switch flipped.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my dad is an accountant. So
but you weren't even that person. Like,
I just know, how to make it work.
We live kind of loose money wise, I feel like, in the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah. I
don't think we had a budget.
We didn't. I mean, we had like, okay, this bill is this.
Yeah.
And then like
it was nothing structured.
Yeah.
And then my wife.
Or we saved a lot too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with it too, but it was nothing written. And then finally, you just reach a certain age where you're just like, we need to get it together.
I don't know what happened, but my wife kind of just like sat me down.
Yeah.
And was like,
oh no, we know what happened.
Okay, whatever. We had a real deal financial conversation.
Yes.
And we made a decision.
We kind of mentioned it in a previous episode that we didn't really have much debt.
Yeah.
Like, you barely paid for college.
Don't say it like that, but yes.
Barely. And then I, my parents helped me a lot with college. Like, I didn't have to pay for it because that was like their thing. And then, I had a couple scholarships too. But then on top of that, we lived with our parents until we got married.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of room to save. And you didn't have a credit card. So there really was no reason for us to have debt. Most of the debt right now is student loans for a lot of people we know. And we didn't have that problem. So once we had this conversation, it was mainly like credit card situations where we were just like, okay, why?
And my wife snapped on me.
Yeah.
So
why is this?
I think the first step to getting a control on your finances is being honest with yourself and honest with your mate about what your financial situation is. Because a lot of people, it's a touchy subject for a lot of people. Because I'm going to be honest. Okay, one of the main issues I had with my finances was I got into a bad deal on something. It was something really stupid. It was a contract situation. And after I did it, like, I felt so I was like, this is such a waste of money. But I was already locked into the contract. Mm-hmm. And I never told Jackie.
Yeah.
So.
And we were married.
Were we married?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay. So, we were married.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's on my credit card. She won't have to worry about it. Like, I just pay it every month.
Pay it off.
Yeah, she won't notice, right? And then one day we kind of had a conversation and we're like talking about cleaning up our finances. And she's like, why do you have so much money? Like, so much debt on this credit card?
And it really wasn't even so much.
I know, in the grand scheme of things.
But at the time, it was just like, whoa, like, I didn't know about it. So why is this here? And which is another reason why I don't really vouch for the whole separate account thing, because if you have one account, like, everything is clear. It's there. We both know what's in that account.
Yeah.
But if you trying to hide stuff for like, you know what I'm saying, for a rainy day or something, like you guys can hide stuff together in a savings account for a rainy day together. Like, why the need for all of that?
I mean, I can see the need. It's kind of an ego thing. It's like, I have this amount of money, like, and then
some couples I know they have separate accounts, but then they also have a joint account, which is just for bills or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I feel like, what's in your separate account? You know, like, do y'all put the same amount each month in your separate account?
I mean, I would assume
you know, like, I don't know. And it's just like, if you feel like getting your nails done. If we had
separate accounts, my account would be really nice right now. So.
If you just feel like getting your nails done or whatever, I mean, I don't know. We just use cash for that. Yeah. So everything is out there.
But I think, so that's kind of
that
where we are now. And that's when my wife became the money manager she is now.
Yeah.
I make the money, she manages it pretty much.
We both make money, but okay.
Yeah, you know, bacon. Sure. I bring home the bacon, you bring home the bacon bits. But
so we'll talk about roles in a relationship in another episode. But yeah, so we budget once a month, and at that point we just cut back on things as much as we could, because we found that. Well, I found because I do most of the groceries.
Be clear.
I was spending way too much on groceries, and I was just like, why is there like spoiled food here? Like, we don't even eat this or whatever. So I cut back almost like half.
Something like that.
Yes. And then we shopped around for new car insurances. We shopped around for like, I think you got some deal on our cell phone. So we just cut back as much as we could so that, like I said, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So that we can keep as much as we can and try to grow as much as we keep, you know?
Yeah.
And we use a Excel spreadsheet to budget.
It's nothing fancy.
It's not, but I put all the formulas in there and like, I just... Listen. I use Excel all the time.
It's some formulas, it's basic, but it works. It works. Don't let it fool you.
I made it.
There's no pivots and...
But we use that. Some people don't like Excel or writing it down by hand. So some good apps are Mint.
Yeah. Mint's a good one.
Mint's a really good one.
Because Mint, like, it connects to your bank account.
Yeah.
It connects to your credit cards, your mortgage.
Everything. So you can really see your net worth.
And you can really, for people who like digital, and you can really like control your budget from your phone. And you set the budget. So you say, I want to spend $100 on gas this month. And if you go over, it lets you know, hey, you went over this much by such and such amount.
Yeah. And even before you go over, it tells you like where you are on that scale. Every dollar is another good one.
Yeah, that's a Dave Ramsey.
That's a Dave Ramsey one. And then you said Simple Budget.
Yeah, when I first started, because I was using this early on, it's called Simple Budget. Mm-hmm. And Dave Ramsey talks a lot about the envelope system. I would recommend just going out and looking this up for yourself and doing your own research. But Dave Ramsey talks about an envelope system where basically you take out a certain amount of money in cash and you put it in different envelopes. So you'll say, hey, this one is for food and this one is for like clothes. And you just separate all your money in envelopes. And once the money in your envelope is empty, you're done. Like you can't spend any more on that certain category or whatever for the month. And it's just to try to teach you some discipline in just certain areas. Right. So Simple Budget, like they categorize the different things as envelopes. It's just like a mental thing. Yeah. And it's like you have this amount left.
You don't have to walk around with literal envelopes.
Yeah. But it's just a good concept.
Yeah. And what's good about those apps is that you can sync with another person. Like let's say if you're married. So then we're both looking at the same budget on our phones. So that's good. Yeah. So I'll just dive into a little bit of our budget breakdown because it can get a little confusing.
We're not telling. My wife's not going to tell you how much money we have in certain categories. No. I was worried about that at first.
That's why it's hard to like talk about finance, but
because people really not give the numbers, exact numbers.
Yeah.
So it's gonna sound weird because it's a lot of percentages.
Yes, but I'll cut it to a minimum.
All right, cool.
Anyway, typically the budget breakdown, what people advise you to do is a 50-20-30 type of budget, which 50% would be like fixed expenses. So like things that are pretty much the same every month that you pay for. Your bills, utilities, your phone,
insurances,
all of that, bills. The 20 would be like securing your financial future. So like investments, savings accounts, all of that.
Yeah, stocks, IRAs.
Yeah. And then the 30 would be flexible spending. Like if you need to spend a little more on food, or if you want to go on vacation or shop for clothes or whatever. So 50, 20, 30. We don't follow that. After looking at our budget, we actually spend less on the fix. So we don't do 50, we do more like 49, just because we cut back on stuff.
Difference.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, I get you.
The difference is later. So securing our financial future, it should be 20 according to whoever these people are, but we're doing 35. So we save a lot more than what we should, I guess, typically speaking.
Yeah.
And then flexible spending, people say 30, but we do 16. So we don't really have we go on vacations and stuff, but we just don't spend a lot of money recklessly like that. And we still have money to go out to eat and stuff once a week.
I think one of the keys to being able to save more was kind of like how we said, it was like working backwards and saving first and working with the rest. So like when we first started doing the budget, we had our spending money category was double what it is now.
Yeah. And
we kind of figured after a while, I was like, we really don't need this much money. Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like it, but when I say I felt like it, not necessarily that I didn't need the amount we were getting at the time.
Yeah.
And I could do it less. It's just how much less was kind of the issue.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of that discipline. Like sometimes you don't need it. And like, I think that's the thing with me and my wife. Like, it's a duality. Like, someone has to be the person who pulls and the other one has to push. Like, if it's up to my wife, we wouldn't have cable.
That's not true.
We would eat in the dark.
Shows right now. Wow.
And it's like, sometimes I have to like, hey, babe, it's okay. We can leave the light on.
Whoever's the manager in your situation.
Yeah.
Don't go too crazy, Like, you don't have to cut off the cable and watch, what is that TV called? Simply...
Huh?
Or what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When we were in Atlanta, they had it on the TV.
Oh, it's Sling TV.
Sling, yeah. You don't have to get Sling unless you want to. Like, you could pick whatever channels you
want.
But
I guess it's like, okay, you don't have to cut your cable, but you don't need 500 channels.
Yeah.
And all the movie channels and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just kind of a la carte, like, fix it to what you need. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing wrong with a little luxury. Like, I like my sports channels and all that.
We're keeping the cable.
Yeah, so
yeah. And another big thing that we try to do is live debt free. So that's what we got from Financial Peace University. And we don't follow Dave Ramsey like by the book.
Yeah.
We are going to start using our credit cards a little bit.
Yeah.
And paying them off like literally the next day.
So I think one of the things that Dave preaches a lot, and now I'm a big advocate of, is a cash system. Mm-hmm. So like there's, this whole study of there's a different connection like in your brain or reaction in your brain for spending cash versus swiping your card.
That's true.
And you feel it. Like there's a difference between handing someone $20 bills versus swiping $400. Like it's a different mindset. And I really think once you start using the cash system, you'll spend a little less because there's an actual like physical pain you feel when you hand somebody money.
Yeah. Versus
the card. Like you swipe, you don't even think about it. It's like you can't picture $120 in your mind, but like when you're handing someone $120, it's a whole different situation. Mm-hmm. So I really believe in the cash system. And that's a big principle in the Dave Ramsey system.
Yeah. Another big principle is like having an emergency fund, which is pretty much like just saving for whenever you never know what's going to happen in life. So at this point, I think we're pretty secure in what we have going on in that fund. But I mean, we could just keep going. And it just allows you more, like I said, like just opportunities to live life the way that you want. And like, let's say one of us stopped working. At this point, we could probably be good for like 2 years just with that fund alone, you know?
I don't know about 2 years, but yeah.
I think 2. If one of us stopped working,
yeah,
not 2 of
I
us
guess.
stopped working.
Yeah, you're just giving them too much right now, but yeah.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, it just allows you to live life the way you want. You know, if you want to have kids and stay home with them, that's an opportunity you can do. Purchase investment properties, invest, eat out, vacation. Yeah,
and I think one of the things too that they talk about, and as far as like working towards like your goals, and like, so say you have a goal to, like, one of our goals I think will be, once we have kids, we'd like for Jackie to stay home for a while.
I don't know how long.
Yeah, for a while though. So one of the things you have to think about, and that is like, if Jackie's not working and we're trying to live, can we live off one income? And one of the ways you can do that is you can try to work your budget around one income. Yeah, I don't know if we can 100% do that yet, but I think we're slowly working towards getting to that point. And it's like,
if we made more cutbacks, we could. But if we want to like keep living the way that we are.
We cut off the cable, we ate in the dark, and took cold shower. Oh, what?
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah. But, I mean, I do think, you know, to not just have, you know, goals or whatever, but actually work towards them and start planning, it makes them more realistic and more attainable. Yeah. So
a lot of those goals for us are in that 35% range that I said before, which is like securing your financial future. So we have about like 10% of those in stocks and mutual funds and stuff. 13% in our quote unquote rainy day emergency funds, and then another like 12 into future real estate planning. Yeah. So
I think those are the two things for me. Like, I want to retire. I mean, I'm not thinking about retirement yet, but I'm saying I don't want to be that person like who's 65 and I have to work. Yeah.
So, if I could retire at like 40, I mean, like, I don't mind my industry.
That's close. 40?
Yeah.
It's like 12 years from now.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll be realistic.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind working. I like working. I like the challenges and things like that. But
I mean, I'll still work on other things.
Like, there's people at my job sometimes I'm like, they work because they want to. And I think that's great. When you get to the point where you work because you want to, that usually means you're doing something that you love. And, you know, it's just something to keep the mind active and busy and all that stuff. Yeah. So I would love to be at that point. And personally, I'd like to do real estate, some form of real estate investment, legitimately.
Yeah, we've been talking about that like heavily lately. So that's more of like a near future kind of goal. And we're planning in that way. Talking to people who do those kind of things. Yeah, my parents especially.
Yeah. So eventually I think we'll have some people on to come on and talk about a lot of that stuff. Because I think it's good to, a lot of people like to hold information and not, I think it's the good thing is, you know, we've been through this. So talking to other people and kind of giving them some game, I guess, on things that they can, because I want to see all my friends win personally. Yeah. And all my listeners are my friends now. Yeah. So yeah, Michel Matters family, I want y'all to win too. So hopefully you take some gems from this.
Yeah. And I mean, we try to be as transparent as possible. Obviously, we're not giving like real numbers. Yeah. But we also do research on other financial sites like Credit Karma,
Nerd Wallet.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah. And then we listen to podcasts. We already mentioned the Dave Ramsey show. And then Paychecks and Balances is a really good podcast, too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So if you actually want to hear from
people who know what they're talking about.
People in the financial industries, then those are good outlets. But yeah, you let us know how you budget, separate account, one account, what is comfortable for you, and like what opportunities, if you have reached certain financial goals, have you been able to achieve.
If you have any like certain budgeting tips that you have, I'm always open to hear.
Yeah.
I love good advice. I love listening to people talk about, because I mean, I know there's people with financial tips that are smarter than me, and I'd love to hear them and apply things, and we can just spread the wealth.
Yes.
Secure the bag.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know.
All right, let's get into these Michel Matters listener questions.
Yeah, there go Mace, there go your cutie.
So we're moving on, right? We always take questions from you guys for the podcast. So we just wanted to make sure to let you guys know that you can email us at michelmatters@gmail.com. We love that you guys are sending us questions, whether it's email, DM, text, whatever. So I think Jocks has questions today.
Yes. So this week, we'll do 2 questions. So one of my good friends, we had a long conversation this week or last week, and he gave me 2 questions. So the first one was, what are your love languages and how do you utilize them in your marriage? So for people who don't know, The 5 Love Languages is a book by Gary Chapman. I never read the book.
I did. But I didn't read it until last year.
Yeah, I never read the book, but basically it breaks up each partner there's 5 love languages. There's a quiz you can take, and the different love languages are receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and physical touch.
Yes.
And you take the test, and it gives you a primary and a secondary, I believe. It's been a while since I've done this. I think I took this test our first year of marriage.
First got married,
yeah, we went to a marriage conference, and I took the test. I actually was going to retake it again for this question, but I didn't have time this week. So I think I will this week, and I'll say my results on the next episode at the beginning. Just to see,
to see if it changed.
Yeah, because Jackie actually says hers changed from when we first got married. So that's interesting.
But what were yours?
So mine were words of affirmation. That was number 1, and physical touch was number 2. As far as words of affirmation, that's like, it's just words of encouragement, and like I like when Jackie lets me know she appreciates something that I did, or just any type of encouraging words. And physical touch, that's not just sex. I know that's been a thing, but physical touch is just like, I like hugs, or I like just little moments where we like hands. I don't like holding hands. Just keep it a buck.
I know.
I don't like holding hands, but just little things like, just to like, I know when someone's there, like there's physical touch. I feel connected in a different type of way.
Right.
So what are your 2 love languages?
Well, when we first got married, my first one was acts of service.
Yeah.
And then quality time.
Yeah.
And now that I took it again, my first one is quality time, and my second one is physical touch.
Physical touch for you?
And I guess I could see it because, well, when we first got married, like, I felt like, I don't know, like I almost had to like force you to do things for me, like to serve me in some ways.
Okay.
And I feel like now that you've gotten way better at that, maybe my answers were just like, I don't care about that.
Maybe.
And now it's quality time, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
Like I need to, talk to you, spend time with you, go on dates, go on our walk or whatever. And then physical touch. I mean, I like my space.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked too, but I do like massages, like back rubs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or like...
Because you got...
What?
An old person's body at this point.
Wow.
Always in pain. No,
it's only my... What is this?
Your traps. Yeah.
Yeah, my traps. And like, even when I go, like if we go to Massage Envy or something, like the girl will be like, oh wow, you have such an athletic body. I'm like, no, I don't. Like,
you're just tense.
I'm just tense right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so quality time and physical touch. And I feel like you've gotten way better with acts of service that I don't even
Well, that's
care
good to know.
Anymore.
How do you use... Because the point of the love language isn't for you to know. It's for your partner to know pretty much. How do you think you meet my love languages?
I think I meet the physical touch.
Yeah.
I think I'm not really great with my words, but I could do better in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, how do you, like, what are practical...
Because words of affirmation is like weird because you don't want it to come off corny, like, oh
yeah,
yay,
for sure.
like you did this.
Yeah.
Like you're a grown man. I'm not just gonna cheer for every little thing you do.
I didn't say I need a cheerleader.
No, I'm saying, but like, some people could see that as that. But just letting you know, like, I appreciate you and all the hard work you do and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I say it, but I feel like I could say it more. That's just me personally. Yeah. You could feel differently. I don't know.
I think you've gotten better at it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's something you deliberately do. I just think it's you do it. Yeah,
you want it to be natural.
Yeah.
Like,
For me, well, because I always focused on what I thought your original love languages were.
Not to say you shouldn't serve me anymore. No.
I do. And as far as like acts of service, so it's like the things I know my wife appreciates, right? Like if I don't want to say chores, but like if I'm helping out around the house, or like I just don't want to call them chores because I live here. So
I mean, I live here too, and they're chores.
Whatever, but it's like if I'm like when I get a chance, like I'll empty out the dishwasher, or I load it, or like I clean up little things here and there.
Yeah, I feel like that we could get into the roles in a marriage too, because there are some things that I just don't want to do. Yeah. No, not want. Well, yeah, there are some things I just feel like what your spouse is good at, and like you just don't want them to waste their time.
So we'll save that for another episode. I feel because I feel like I know what you're getting at, and that deserves a whole episode. So,
but there are some things that I really just don't want to do, and those things you actually end up loving doing. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, well then just you do it, and I don't ever have to do it.
So yeah, I think we'll just get into that another time.
Yeah. But that's kind of how we use it.
Yeah. So the second question was, of course, my phone doesn't want to open. The second question was, how do you know when it's really over, and what's the time frame on dating someone else after a breakup? I thought it was a interesting question, and it has so many layers to it.
Yeah, it depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, it's like, when is it over? It's over when she tells you it is.
You know when it's over. Yeah. Honestly. Like, you just know. Nobody even has to say anything.
I feel like in times where, even in friendships or anything, like, when it's over, like, what's understood don't gotta be explained, right? Like, this person, either you're through with that person or that person is through with you. Because it's either one.
Yeah.
You could tell by their mannerisms, their attitude. Like, I know when my wife checks out. Like, when she's done, when she's not listening, or like, I mean, when you're with someone enough, like, some things don't have to be explained to you. But as far as like ending it, because that's the difference. There's a difference between it being over and it being ended. Because people check out before they break up sometimes.
If this is the girl breaking up with the guy, trust me, she knows, and her friends know.
And she's probably
for at least
she's known for a while.
3 months.
Yeah, and she's just been waiting.
Yeah, because there's never a right time. So, you know. So
as far as when it's over, I think it's just you got to read literally you have to read the signs. I know men are bad at reading the signs.
Yeah.
But you can read body language. You can tell like it's not what it used to be. And you just got to move with that. Like, or sometimes just ask. I feel like that works too. Like, hey.
Yeah, like, is there something wrong? Yeah. Like, what's happening?
You can't be afraid to have the difficult conversations. That's one of my big things.
Yeah.
Can't be afraid to have difficult conversations. If you want to know, ask. If you really are clueless. I'm a clueless person a lot when it comes to things like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not afraid to ask. So I recommend it.
I also feel like, I mean, you have to see if that person is even worth you spending time on. Yeah. You know, like, is this somebody that you're going to build with later on? Or, I don't know. Pray about it. I know that's like a cliche answer, but honestly, like, pray about it. If that's somebody that you really feel like is going to be in your life and is worth it to be in your life.
Yeah. I don't think it's cliche. I think it's cliche for people who don't pray.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's cliche. I think that's the right answer. It's the right answer. And then the second question was, what's a time frame to start dating someone else?
Well, that also is like, if that's not the reason why you're breaking up.
It's tricky. It's tricky because if it happens too soon, especially for the person who broke up, who ended the relationship, right. It looks like you had this waiting in the bag.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you, let's say, like, you cheated on the person.
Yeah.
And then you get with the person you cheated on them with, and then it's just like, well, that's just what's bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you cheated on the person, I don't think there's a time frame. You can do what you want at this point. You're already with the person.
You was already doing what you wanted anyway. So.
But for two people who ended amicable, or not amicable, but like, it just ended.
I don't know if there's like a real time frame.
It depends.
Yeah.
So
I feel like once you break up with somebody, you do need time to just like figure out what just happened here. Mm-hmm. And like also however long you've been with the person, your life is going to change dramatically depending on how long you've been together. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of figure out, okay, what's my new schedule? What's my new like life looking like?
Yeah.
Since their friends aren't in my life anymore and their family aren't here. So I don't know. You just have to take time for yourself.
I think it depends. It depends on how you broke up, mm-hmm. how long you guys were together, because you don't want to rush into... Because the question was about dating someone. And dating, can be considered casual. Like, I just go on dates.
Oh, okay.
Because dating is not just necessarily being in a relationship.
Right.
So as far as dating other people... I think as long as you feel like you're not moving emotionally, like some people just don't know how to be alone, and they quickly try to.
Well, that's why I feel like you do need to be alone.
You do
just
probably
for some. I mean, you need support because obviously it's like a breakup is devastating.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you have to like look at your watch and be like, okay, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like. Can I date now? I think
you date
once
when you want to.
Yeah, and then it's also like a proximity thing too. Like, how often do you see your ex? And like, I wouldn't flaunt it in their face.
Why would you see your ex?
Well, some people like, what if you work with that person or that person goes to your church or something, like they'll see you every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I think you should.
I think you need to remove yourself from this person.
Yeah, of course. But sometimes, some people just, you can't avoid them. Nah. I just feel like if you are going to, you don't have to flaunt it early on.
Yeah, don't post it on Instagram.
Nah, you can post. I mean, if it's on your story.
On a date?
If you're in a nice spot, you got a nice meal. If you just
broke up with somebody 2 weeks ago and you posting that you on a date at like, wherever.
If someone broke up with me and I was on a date with someone else 2 weeks after.
You going to post a picture?
I don't post much personally, But
you would advise someone to go ahead and post a picture? I would advise them to move how their feelings allow to. I don't think it's petty though. Because you already know. Hopefully the person unfollowed you by now. It's only been 2 weeks. There's still like that period of like, are we really not together? That's what I'm saying. It depends. Are you guys, the question, is it over? If it's over and you're not with that person, then you're free to do what you want. To a degree, yeah. I mean, why? I mean, I get you. I guess because I'm private, I wouldn't post that stuff. Yeah. Because then it's like, okay, you posted a new date every other day. Hey. It is what it is. All right, well, we definitely didn't really answer this question. Yeah, well, I guess to my friend, if you want to date, you should date. Then date, yeah. Especially if you're not the one who ended it. Live your life, but you don't have to put everything on social media. That's what I'm saying. You can go ahead and date, but you don't have to put every date. Of course, word is bond. So, like, if you can just take feel a like of your food. Yeah, if you feel you're strong enough to stand on, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm okay with it, go ahead and do it. You don't have anyone to answer to, so yeah, do what you feel like you're ready for and you feel is appropriate. Like, if you know your ex worked at Chili's, don't take your date to Chili's. Like, I don't think that's appropriate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you feel like you're ready for and do what you feel is appropriate. Yeah. If you feel like you like posting your meals, post your meals. Yeah. You don't have to be like date night. Hashtag date night. Just post a picture of your food. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to post a picture of your date. Of course. Because then you're going to have a new date like every week. So. Hopefully not. But yeah. I mean, you don't know. Hopefully. It's dating. Yeah. I wouldn't know. But anyway. I think that's and then you're just wasting money on dates with people you don't. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Anyway. All right. Well, again, if you have any other questions, send it to us. DM us, text us, michelmatters@gmail.com. All right. Let's get into the business spotlight. Yes. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Okay, so earlier last month, we went ahead and filed our taxes. Yes, before somebody else did. Okay, yeah. So shout out to Rebecca for referring these people. We love it. We're probably going to go back like all the time. Most definitely. They are Clair Financial Services in Miami Gardens. And they also have offices in Orlando, Florida and Norcross, Georgia. The owners are Haitian and Trinidadian. And our tax person, what do you call those people? Tax preparers. Tax preparer was Joy St. Clair, and she has an amazing personality. Yeah. Super fun. Her office is cute too, and she loved that I came like with all her paperwork organized, filed, and everything. And it was just like a cool office. It was, and I think it was like meant to be because we found out like. She ended up going to the church that we went to. Oh, yeah. Or the church that we go to. She was a member at one point. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And she knows, somebody that I know. Yeah. So when you walk in, don't be alarmed. But there's like younger, like teenage. Volunteers. They work. They get paid at the front desk. And, it's cool because they can learn the ins and outs of the business. And, it's just like keeping it in the family. But also, like helping them. To get money and kids opportunity. Yeah, it's just cool. And she was extremely helpful, especially because I have a small business. Mm-hmm. There were, filing taxes for that and stuff. Yeah. So, and I think when you go to a lot of these bigger places like H&R Block or you do TurboTax, there's a lot of things you don't know because they don't teach us these things. Yes. We don't learn about taxes in school and all that. She really took a lot of time to like school us basically and asked us questions that we never heard. It didn't feel rushed, and we like got down to the nitty gritty. And I feel like she just did an amazing job with our taxes. Yeah. So yeah, you guys have like a month left? Yeah, pretty much. To file your taxes. Go get your lives together. Go get your money back from the government if you have to. And you better file it before somebody else do. Or pay the government what you need to pay. And yeah, so definitely go to them. St. Clair Financial Services. Had to shout them out. They're like amazing.
Yeah, and when you go, tell them Jocks and Jackie sent you.
Yeah, if she remembers.
She should.
Yeah.
I'm very memorable.
Okay. But yeah, so that's our business spotlight. Do you have any announcements?
No. I'll definitely try to put links to some of the things we spoke about in the bio.
Yes.
I'll definitely put the link to the business spotlight. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, well, the next couple of episodes, I mean, they'll be spaced out a good amount, but we're going to be talking about parenting because a lot of people have been asking.
And we
are now parents. So we are going to have some special guests to help us talk about this. And if you guys have any like questions for them, let us know. I mean, there'll be like different types of parents, so you don't get like the same family structure every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be like a mini series. So we're excited.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, good episode.
Yes.
All right. See you guys.
When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. That you might work. That you might work.